think we are building a premium brand, whether or not we are aware of it. When a consumer is purchasing a premium brand, they are not shopping based on price. And sometimes we think, well, why doesn't our customer treat us better and respect us? And, you've heard me say so many times the Dr. Brian Williams quote, there is no nobility in undervaluing yourself. And we think, well, why does our customer undervalue us? Because we taught them to. We taught them that the number one reason you should do business with us is because it's cheap right now. Now, let me just zoom out on this. Most fitness brands are doing this. Like, as our franchise company grows, we've hired a few people that are wildly experienced from other fitness brands. The only tactic they've ever known is discount, right? And so we say, well, what if we took discount off the table? How would you attract new customers? And they are stuck because it is what all of our industry does. So side note, this is important. This is a wonderful way for us to differentiate from every other fitness brand that's out there.
Welcome to another episode brought to you by Imagine Strength, the future of safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Are you a HIIT studio owner looking for equipment that's not just top-notch, but also tailored to your specific needs? Imagine Strength is your answer. Inspired by the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength is revolutionizing the HIIT industry with their state-of-the-art yet affordable equipment. Their team doesn't just sell HIIT equipment, they live and breathe it. I've personally experienced their gear at the Resistance Exercise Conference, and let me tell you, it was an intense workout that I won't soon forget, in the best way possible, of course. So why choose Imagine Strength? Number one, they provide customized solutions for HIIT studios. Number two, they have budget-friendly yet high-performance designs. And number three, they're committed to innovation and excellence in high-intensity training specifically. Founder Jeff Turner and his dedicated team are on a mission to make HIIT accessible to everyone. Getting started is easy. Number one, visit imaginestrength.com. Number two, consult with their expert team. And number three, choose the equipment that will skyrocket your business. Don't wait. Head over to imaginestrength.com and elevate your HIIT studio today with Imagine Strength. Lawrence still here, and welcome back to High Intensity Business, your one-stop shop for elevating your HIIT business and fueling your passion for high-intensity training. This is episode 458. I'm joined by CEO and founder of Discover Strength, Luke Carlson. Discover Strength is a Minnesota-based strength training studio built on the principle that busy people don't have time to waste on exercise that doesn't work. Discover Strength delivers 30-minute strength training workouts twice per week with exercise physiologists. They help their clients look and feel their best in a fraction of the time. Discover Strength has over 35 locations open or in development across the United States. Luke, welcome back. Great to see you.
Great to see you. It's my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Lawrence.
Thank you, Luke. So today's topic going to be focused on is the concept and the idea of discounting in a high-intensity training business context, of course. And this really has come up and I guess been the idea for this podcast has come up in a number of masterminds we run in the membership. There's a lot of back and forth about, do we discount? When do we discount? You've been on the podcast before talking about the importance of brand positioning and, making sure you build a business around your target market. And what does that mean when it comes to making decisions around whether we discount, when we discount, should we discount at all? And I even find this quite confusing. Kind of came up in the membership one day and we all just kind of sat there like, don't really know, to be honest with you, what to think about that. So where should we start with this? I mean, with you, it's always good we tend to talk principles first and definitions and these kinds of things, because then rather than tactics, because then you can kind of, the ideas are more evergreen and they can apply to whatever. So when thinking about discounting yourself in a business, what are you first thinking about? What are the rules that you're following in your mind?
Yeah, I think the first rule is the brand that we are all trying to create, and brand, of course, means a lot of things, but I'm just going to jump forward and make the assumption that we are, and I'll tell you why I'm making this assumption, that we are all building premium offerings. We're all building a business that's kind of rooted in this premium strategy, not a luxury strategy. Like we would look at premium as a Lexus, a BMW. Luxury is like a Rolls Royce. So I think it's a different context, but it's a premium brand is what we're building. And And we have to just pause for a second and say, well, hold on. I didn't consciously want to build a premium brand. I think we are building a premium brand, whether or not we are aware of it, just because of what we charge. Like our target customer, they are spending a lot of money for our one-on-one 30-minute workouts. And I'm going to keep saying I mean, most of the high intensity training practitioners that have been on your podcast and listened to your podcast that we've all interacted with. So if you're charging on the low end, depending on your market, $40 for a 30-minute workout, or on the high end, we have some people in our space charging $90 and $95 for a 30-minute workout. Whether you're $40 or 90 US dollars, that is a premium product. I mean, you are charging a minimum of $80 per hour. If someone is training with you just once per week at that $40, I mean, they're spending $160 a month with you. This is a lot of money. So full stop, what we're selling is expensive. I think that automatically puts us in kind of this premium pricing mindset, or a premium pricing strategy that's
Just
a part of the overall.
back up one sec. Sorry. Is when we're looking at categories for like what we're talking about there, it's like, is it go like luxury, premium, best value, discount? Is that the right labels?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll be honest. I've spent most of my time studying luxury and premium. So everything that I read is on luxury and premium, because I was trying to maybe make a compelling argument that could we land in luxury? I don't think we can land in luxury. There's a lot of things to a luxury strategy that are just not conducive with growing the volume of a business. Like if your strategy is a luxury strategy, by definition, you try to generally sell less units each year, right? Like Rolls-Royce has a goal of however many cars we sold last year, we got to sell one less car next year, right? Because if there's too many of them, then just based on the proliferation of Rolls-Royces, it must not be a luxury brand. And so part of a luxury brand is it can't be fashionable. So maybe that is part of how we're a luxury brand, is because what we're doing doesn't change. It's not a fad. So there's all these different criteria around luxury brands. I don't think we're luxury brands. I think we're premium brands. I don't know enough about discount. Any comments I would have about a discount brand would be just what I've seen in the fitness space. When we think about companies like Planet Fitnesses and so forth, those are the low cost, high volume models, which is not going to be the scope of, or it's going to be on beyond the scope of this conversation.
Yeah. So I think a better label might just be cheapest or least expensive, bottom, Okay, so no, that's fine. That's a great introduction. So yeah, I think most people listening to this would agree with that in terms of where they're positioned as a premium brand. So with that in mind, with that as the starting point, what can we do and what can't we do as it relates to discounts?
Yep. So if that's our starting point, I think you have to say, well, when a consumer is purchasing a premium brand, they are not shopping based on price. Their first decision is not based on price. If you buy a BMW, or if you buy a BMW 3 Series or 5 Series versus a Lexus, LS, the major decision is not the price. It's not, well, I can get $1,000 less over here, $1,000 less over there. And this applies to cars. This applies to homes. This applies to clothing. This applies to a Louis Vuitton handbag. And Louis Vuitton probably straddles between premium and luxury. I would argue that they're premium because there are so many Louis Vuitton products, everywhere. So the consumer is not buying primarily on price. That is so hard for the HIIT practitioner to understand or accept, because we are generally not in the same position as most of our target market is. Now, the reason, or one of the reasons that we get, I think, confused around this is our target market still may complain about price or mention price or talk about money, but that doesn't mean that's what their buying decision is going to hinge around. So anytime we raise prices, we'll have a couple customers say something, and our exercise physiologist will say, yeah, customers really have been complaining. And I say, well, hold on, how many customers complained? And they name one or two. And I'm like, do you know how many customers we have in the business? We have thousands of customers. So really, a tiny percentage of people are complaining. And did they stop training with us, right? Did they terminate their auto pay? No. Well, they have every right to talk about it or complain. I mean, I often, buy a sandwich at the airport, and I say, $16 for a sandwich? And I buy the sandwich and I move on with life, and I'm going to buy the sandwich 3 days from now, and I'm going to continue to buy it. So expressing your discontent that prices are rising or something is expensive, doesn't mean you're not still going to purchase it. That's just kind of a side note. I think we sometimes need that reminder that it doesn't mean we have to back down from what our price is. Our customer, their first buying decision is not price. So if that's the case, and we lead with a discount, if we lead with some type of promotion based on price, we are teaching our customer from day one that the number one reason you should be buying us, the number one reason you should be interacting with our brand is because it is inexpensive right now. We are leading with our most important value proposition, which is it's currently on sale. And if you think that's your most important value proposition, let me tell you, you are undervaluing what you do as a high intensity training practitioner. So we are communicating this to the customer. And sometimes we think, well, why doesn't our customer, treat us better and respect us? And, you've heard me say so many times the Dr. Brian Williams quote, there is no nobility in undervaluing yourself. And we think, well, why does our customer undervalue us? Because we taught them to. We taught them that the number one reason you should do business with us is because it's cheap right now. Now, let me just zoom out on this. Most fitness brands are doing this. Like as our franchise company grows, we've hired a few people that are wildly experienced from other fitness brands, other fitness franchises. And when they talk about generating new sales and launching a new studio, the only tactic they've ever known is discount, right? And so we say, well, what if we took discount off the table? How would you attract new customers? And they are stuck because it is what all of our industry does. So side note, this is important. This is a wonderful way for us to differentiate from every other fitness brand that's out there. When the consumer is interacting with you via your website, via your social media, via any digital marketing you're doing, or when they're in the studio about to actually do an introductory workout or their introductory workout or whatever your process is, the fact that you won't discount, that you're not going to discount in the sales process is an immediate differentiator. It is actually the first thing they're going to think about is, wait, everywhere else I've ever gone, they're trying to sell me based on this upfront, founders package, it's less expensive, et cetera. And so you differentiated right away by not discounting. And then you've also set the tone that the number one reason you should do business with us, it is not because we are less expensive right now. So that's our starting point. Now, Lawrence, I'll let you kind of respond to that because I think there's different tentacles to that we have to touch on, but that's our starting point. You want to make sure that you are communicating that the number one reason to interact with your brand is not price, because by the way, you are expensive. You should be expensive forever. You're worth it. And so why don't you lead with something else? Why don't you lead with a different differentiating capability of yours? Why don't you deal with the fact that you're using an evidence-based approach? Why don't you deal with the fact that you're an expert? Why don't you deal with the fact that the strength training you do is safe? Why don't you lead with? There's so many things that we could lead with.
The 30-minute workout.
It's a 30-minute workout that you're tying back for all of these things that we just, and let me tell you, if you study the fitness world, you're going to develop bad habits because the fitness world, even the sophisticated franchise operations that are out there, the huge operations that are out there, they've sold on discounting, and it hurts the brand. And not just hurts the brand, it hurts the revenue and the profitability over the long haul. So many of these concepts that we're copying, we just don't understand how much revenue and how profitable they really are. And it turns out, a lot of them are not nearly as profitable as we would have assumed.
Let's go.
Today's episode is sponsored by Imagine Strength, the game changer in safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training machines. When it comes to HIIT, Imagine Strength is your go-to for intelligently designed, efficient, and affordable equipment. Their team is passionate about HIIT, and it shows in every piece they craft. So why are Imagine Strength the right choice? Number one, they tailor-make their equipment for HIIT studios. Number two, they provide cost-effective solutions for your business. And number three, they are committed to ongoing innovation and refinement. Ready to take your HIIT business to the next level? Visit imaginestrength.com to discuss your needs and find the perfect gear for your studio. Join the HIIT revolution of Imagine Strength and transform your workout experience today.
Let's go.
Wow, fascinating. So I'm conscious of time, and we could philosophize on this for like an hour. But where I want to kind of get to, I guess, is just some of these nuances where we talk about, okay, that all makes sense what you said. It makes a lot of sense in terms of you don't want to have a discount or an offer in that sense as putting your first foot forward with your engagement with a customer, and differentiate with your other capabilities. But there may be some point down the line where you see our colleagues making offers, doing discounts. How should we be thinking about this? I mean, for instance, at Discover Strength, you guys do, I know you do a little bit of this. I don't know whether you still do this, where you used to do like, seminars. And if a client goes to a seminar, they get like 10% off that month's auto pay, but you are incentivizing them to learn. So that is slightly nuanced. I think last year, for like the first time, you're smiling at me because you're like, you study Discover Strength, Lawrence. But I remember last year, I think it was, you did the first Black Friday offer, I believe, that you've ever done, maybe. And so that would be going into kind of the discount territory. So explain that to me. Like, when do we decide to do discounts in our business, given that we want to maintain this premium position?
Yeah. So for many, many, many years, I think 2007 through 2020, so right when the pandemic hit, we did a Tuesday night seminar once a month. So if you came to the seminar live, and we would get between 20 and 60 people at a seminar, and we picked a different topic, and the seminar was 25 or 30 minutes long. It was always given by me or one of our staff. We would never have like a local, healthcare practitioner give a seminar, because we just didn't want to give away, right, our chance to actually, we say is spread the religion. Clearly it's not religion, but we wanted to be able to tell the brand story ourselves. We've had a couple exceptions to that. James Fisher gave a seminar for us when he was in town. We always gave a 10% discount to that. We thought, well, it's worth it to provide a 10% discount if you're going to come and drink the Kool-Aid and learn more, because the more you learn, the more passionate you're going to be about your training. I mean, this is what Arthur Jones always said, right? He said, besides intensity of effort, it's belief in what you're doing that's probably the number one predictor of, so in that case, number two predictor of what kind of results you're going to see from your training. Well, how do you generate more belief in what you're doing? You learn more about it. If you really understand why you're doing what you're doing, you're going to get better results. And so we just thought, we'll teach people and they'll stay forever. Well, we did that for many, many years. I loved it. It was a chance to get our clients to really understand what we were doing. Well, the pandemic hits, and we stopped doing that seminar. We never went back to it, and no one misses it. And we never give away 10% off of just a massive amount of revenue. And so now what I don't know is, well, would our overall revenue be bigger because more people would be brand advocates and they're more likely to refer, et cetera? I don't know. No one says bring the seminars back. Specifically, no one says, I want that 10% discount. We didn't lose any of those customers. Those people are all still customers and they're paying more. So we learned, I love it when you're forced to learn something, like you're just forced to no longer give the 10% because there's no more seminar and no one cares. And you just assume forever that these customers need the 10%. They want the 10%. They're going to leave if they don't have the 10%. No, there's never a peep about it. We never talk about revisiting the seminars and the 10%.
Well, hang on, let me just ask a question on that. So when things reopened and you could do it again, obviously, you know why they didn't come before, because you couldn't do it. You weren't allowed to. So how come you didn't decide to just resume it? Were you just trying to be more focused, trying to simplify?
Well, I think Hannah and I just looked at each other and said, we kind of like receiving this extra 10% off all this revenue. So why would we go back? Why would we go back? And I think it's an interesting situation because we were really paying our customers. That's what we were doing. We were paying our customers to learn. We were giving them 10% to learn. And Lawrence, I think that I'm continually speaking, and I speak to a lot of these CEO groups. So every week of the year, I'm on a plane somewhere speaking. I was in Alabama last week speaking 3 times. I'm in Cincinnati this upcoming week. I'll have dinner with Kim Wood when I'm in Cincinnati. We're going to have dinner on Valentine's evening, which will be lovely, when I'm in Cincinnati. So I'm always somewhere speaking, and I'm getting paid a significant amount of money to speak. We used to pay our customers to listen to me speak. And so the reality is we probably shouldn't be paying people to listen to me speak. I should be getting paid to speak. That's just kind of my mindset. And then they hear my presentation that I got paid for, and then they all want to become customers. And so the fact that we were basically incentivizing people or paying people to come listen to us speak, I think it was the wrong kind of positioning as a whole. It took us a long time to actually get there. That's too long of a story, really. So I'm sorry. I probably spent too much time on it. What you were asking is, well, going forward, when can you discount? Here's our mindset. Two big things. You can, if you're ever going to offer a discount or offer a deal of any kind, I firmly believe you have to offer it to your current customers, not to new customers. And the reason you have to offer it to current customers is you got to dance with the one that brought you to the dance, right? These are the ones that you really value. You want to retain them. So you should provide, if you're ever going to provide a deal, if you're ever going to provide something better, provide it to them because they deserve it. If you offer a deal to a new customer and your current customer says, well, why are you offering a deal to a new customer and not to me? I don't know how to respond to that. Like, really, like, why aren't we treating our current customer better? And so anytime you offer a deal, a promotion, a discount of any kind, do it for your current customers. Then I think your mindset's going to go to, well, why would I do that? They're already happy current customers. And then I think the next logical conclusion is, well, I shouldn't do that at all. Now, I think everyone listening, and I feel this way, and Hannah and I are talking about this literally every day. Well, how do we get someone to decide to schedule that introductory workout right now if there's nothing that's like time sensitive? This promo is going to end on this date. What's going to get them to come in?
Right.
That's number two. So I said number one is offer a discount, a promotion to current customers. The second kind of exception to all of this is I think it's okay to be creative around a promotion that creates scarcity or urgency to actually come in and experience the introductory workout. I just hate it when it's an actual discount. Now, I rather give something away for free. I rather say, if you do, I'm making this up on the spot, 4 workouts in this next month, we will give your next month free. So, we're in mid-February right now. So anyone that completes, new clients that complete 4 workouts or 8 workouts in the month of March, train for free in April, something like that. I just don't like the idea of a discount. I like free more than a discount.
Mhm.
I like, hey, you get 3 free workouts. If they're not the best 3 workouts you've ever had, then, fill in the blank, something like that. So I rather give something away for free, package something where if you complete 8 workouts, you get the next workout free, for example, rather than say, hey, if you start now, March is discounted by 20%. I feel like that's lazy, and I think that's what most people do. So I realize we need to find ways to create some urgency, maybe scarcity. That's a little bit different, but we need a call to action that says, you gotta call us right now. You got to email us right now. You got to schedule something right now. So we are constantly testing and playing with different ways to get someone to do that right now. It'll just never be, hey, it's 20% off. It's 30% off if you come in right now. We're trying everything out. I even like guarantees. If you bod pod test, if you do 8 workouts with us, bod pod test again, and you don't add this amount of muscle, we'll refund all of your money. To me, that right there, what I just said, or some iteration of that compels somebody to try it right now without actually discounting what you're doing. And I think that if you did that 1,000 times, I think you'd refund someone's money one time out of 1,000.
Yeah, absolutely. Is this a lot of this is Hormozi inspired? It sounds like.
So Hormozi's like so far over my head that, I've read his offers book multiple times. This is kind of how we thought about it before I came across his stuff. The reason why I haven't found Hormozi, I love Alex Hormozi. I think he's freaking brilliant. I hate that his biceps are as big as they are, and he's smart also because he is freaking awesome, and I love so much of his content. I mean, I love his content. But I don't like his approach to sales because the sale that he always made is so different than the sale that every high intensity personal trainer is making. He's talking about show rates. He's like, you're going to book this many people. You're going to have a 30% show rate. And then you're going to try to close like 30 to 40% of them. And I'm like, show rate, when we book an intro workout, we have like 98% show rates. Our target market wants to come in and experience this. So his sales environment is so different. He knows that if someone walks out the door, they're never going to come back. If you don't close them that moment, he has all these tactics of like, ask for someone's driver's license. Why are you asking for their driver's license? Because if they have their driver's license, they have their credit card with. So when you ask for money later on in the conversation, they can't say, well, I don't have my wallet with. Their wallet's with because they took their driver's license out. None of that applies to how we sell. Our customer generally wants to be there and experience the pre-introductory workout. They're going to show up for that. We need to be able to provide value. So everything he says from a sales standpoint just doesn't apply. We don't need to create all of this urgency to do it now. I think we just need to provide value in that introductory workout. So love Alex Hormozi. We have not applied or will not apply most of what he does from a sales standpoint because we're just selling something different. Every gym that he ever owned, every gym that he consulted with, these are not high-end operations like the high-end operations of everybody on this call. So in my opinion, his model was so different. These are small, dirty gyms that are not providing a premium experience like every high intensity training practitioner I've ever met.
Yeah, I'd largely agree. I think when you read his book, Gym Launch Secrets, I still think there's probably a lot in there that transfers, but I do largely agree with what you're saying. No, that's fascinating, actually. Thank you for that, Luke. And I'm aware of time, so we'll wrap it there. I think that was great in terms of how you describe when one can give a discount, and maybe it's about like you say, being more creative about it, not being lazy. Like not just when you explicitly say like 20% off, 10% off. Um, Perhaps that does send the wrong message, right? You can be far more creative and say, hey, you get your fourth session free or whatever. Just one final follow-up. Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, then, Lawrence, if it's 20% off, what you're doing is you're getting all of your customers to start wondering, wait, is there a better discount if I wait one more week or if I wait one more month? Am I the only idiot that's paying full price? Is there a better time to buy? I can't stand that. We want our customers to be customers for life, and they just need to understand it's one price. This is what the price is. And by the way, when the price increases for everyone. I just can't stand price increases where we only increase the price for new customers and not for our current customers. Well, what do you have more of? Current customers or new customers? You have way more current customers. So why don't you increase the price for all of your current customers and, of course, the new customers that are about to come in the door? Otherwise, the new customers that are paying a higher price are subsidizing the fact that you're undercharging the rest of your customers. If you had a customer that became a customer 9 years ago and you have them at the same rate as they do now, you're not bright. Like, you have to increase the prices. Every other business that customer interacts with has increased their prices on a regular basis, and we have to have the conviction that we can do the same thing.
Yeah, excellent advice. And just one final question. You talked about all the testing you're doing about offers. Do you think maybe the free workout isn't enough now in terms of a core offer that most of us lead with, right, on our websites, the free workout? And there's some creativity around that. Some people will offer 2 free sessions. Some people might offer a free workout plus another consultation plus some resources on fat loss or whatever it is. How are you thinking about this now? Do you keep it simple, just free workout? Or do you think there's more
So
to think about now?
I agree with you 100%. The
Okay.
free introductory workout is not enough to see on social media, to see in a digital ad campaign and say, yep, I need to do that. I need to do it right now. It still is the right thing to do in terms of providing value first. It's the right thing to do.
Especially in our space, right, where people need to experience the workout. Like, we know that's true
Exactly.
in here. Yeah.
In our business, no matter how sophisticated we get at marketing, we're still going to be primarily all about referrals. Every good business is. I don't care what you do. And so the free introductory workout is still the best way to leverage a referral, to to capitalize on the referral, to provide value first. So we should still be doing free introductory workouts. I just don't think someone can see a Facebook ad or something in their feed that says free introductory workout. They're going to say, "Wow, I better jump on this right now." I think we need to be a little bit more creative in the offer that we make. I still think the free introductory workout should exist for sure.
So that offer could be one of those ones you mentioned earlier, so listeners can go back. You mentioned guarantees as well about body composition. I think Ed Collins at Simply Strong does a cool thing with this. He does a guarantee on strength. So like increasing your strength by X% over Y number of weeks, which I thought was, one of those things where it's like, it wows the customer, but it's also very achievable, right? We know that. We know you're going to get stronger quickly. Luke, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time as always. This has been great. Uncovered some new territory here today. Best way people to find out about you is at discoverstrengthfranchise.com for the franchise, discoverstrength.com. What's your Instagram again these days, the handle?
Luke Carlson 3070.
Okay, great. All right, Luke. And for everyone listening, to get the show notes for this episode, please go to the usual place, highintensitybusiness.com, search episode 458. And until next time, thank you very much for listening.
Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by Imagine Strength, your go-to for safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Growing a successful high-intensity training business requires workout equipment that's not only high quality, but also intelligently designed to fit the unique needs of your studio. And that's where Imagine Strength comes in. Drawing on the wisdom of the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength has crafted a groundbreaking line of fitness equipment that's as affordable as it is efficient, giving your studio the upgrade it needs without breaking the bank. The team at Imagine Strength breathes HIIT. Their passion for high-intensity training shines through in their designs, which they've consistently refined and innovated for optimum effectiveness and user experience. From my personal experience at Rec, I can attest to the careful consideration and craftsmanship that goes into every single piece. My Imagine Strength workout was absolutely brutal, in a good way, of course. Now, what makes Imagine Strength truly stand out? They have innovative equipment tailored for the unique needs of HIIT studios, affordable and efficient designs, lowering the barriers to entry for a HIIT business, continuous innovation and refinement ensuring your studio stays ahead of the curve. Founder Jeff Turner and his team are dedicated to moving the HIIT industry forward and making strength training accessible to more people than ever before. Here's how you get started. Number 1, visit imaginestrength.com. Number 2, discuss your specific needs with the team. And number 3, select the equipment that will propel your business to the next level. Head to imaginestrength.com today and give your HIIT business the Imagine Strength edge. Be part of the HIIT revolution and see firsthand how their unique equipment can transform your studio's workout experience. Elevate your HIIT business with Imagine Strength.
Let's go.